So I'm starting out the day with a message from Dean Roy. He says, women still don't understand how the wall works. No matter what a man looks like, he can still get any woman if he has enough money. He only hits the wall when his wallet is empty. The more money a man has, it's the more dating options he has. The more beautiful, fit, and friendly a woman is, it's the more dating options she has. So he is explaining the wall, Dean Roy. And this was posted in my BurbNBougie subreddit. And she was like, "Sir, can I please just have extra pickles on my burger?" Why would she ask that, you might ask? Now, why is she asking for more pickles? It's because he works at the Field Burger and Tap. Sir, sir, why are you talking about wallets? Your wallet cannot be that stuffed. Please stop. And that segues perfectly to this post that was cross posted to my BurbNBougie subreddit. He says, how to deal with shit tests about age differences. Let's talk about that because, like Dean says, the age and the wall doesn't apply to men. These men are so delusional. They have really bought into their theories and their talking points, and they're actively trying to live it out in some cases. He says, "Hi, guys. I'm 38 now, and I must admit I prefer girls in their 20s. Most of my friends are in their 20s, probably because I have the lifestyle of a single 25-year-old man, single, free, no debts, physically active, and also because I physically look younger. But since recently I'm dealing with girls who ask me about my age, and when I give them the answer, they freeze out and I lose them. Always the same pattern. Interaction is cool, vibing, se actualizing, etc. Yikes at the se actualizing. And at that moment, they hear my age, they start testing me, and I don't know how to deal with it. Any advices? Thanks from France. Now, the thing is, these men who live like 20-year-olds, 20 somethings, they haven't matured enough. But that is the reason why they are sitting up here still living like they're in their 20s. They don't emotionally mature. That's the reason why so many of them have to have friends that are still in their 20s because they do not emotionally mature. And the thing is, they have really bought into the fact that they think that these 20 something year old women, not girls, that these 20 something year old women, especially women who are financially stable, actually want them. They have bought into their own delusion, and it is something to watch. These 20 somethings reject them. It makes my heart so happy. All right, so I'm gonna do some of the comments on his post, and then I'm gonna do some of the comments on my BurbNBougie post. So Damon Blackfire says, unless you're Chris Hemsworth, some women just have a hard rule about age, and there's nothing you can do about it. Some do like it. There's the ones who are interested. Concentrate on them and disregard the ones who go, ew, no point in hiding it. You just look insecure. I'm 38 as well, but I take solace in knowing I'm in the best shape of my life and still have most of my hair, though receding. Turbulent Aardvark says, true. I had an old boss, now friend, in his 40s. His fiance is 25, similar age as me. They just have to be into it. It helps that he was cool and took good care of his body. The OP says, I definitely don't want to hide it. I never lie. Lying is too stressful, in my opinion. This person says, LOL at hard rule. Women tend to have a lot of rules. He should be tall. He should make six figures. He should be in my age bracket. He should be handsome. He should be athletic, etc. But when you can create attraction, nothing will matter. They just end up transforming into tests, if you can even call them that, that are ridiculously easy to pass. Oftentimes, you end up banging the girl without her knowing your age or even your name, so it's not some critical information for her to know to begin with. Think about what that just said. They really don't think that we women have different criteria depending on the women. They really think that we all have these same talking points. And they think that we are interchangeable. Like, you still get to bang them without knowing their age, without them knowing your age. That is so, they really don't see the humanity in women. And it's so telling when you just let them talk and you just take screenshots of their words. So Viral Hunter says, can't force seduction if age is a deal breaker to them. Be with the ones who don't mind it. Also, maybe you say it in an insecure way, which can be picked up on by girls. Reveal it nonchalantly with confidence after you ask her to guess it wrong. And he says, the OP says, yeah, I will try to observe the way I answer next time. Maybe I'm focusing on it and it causes insecurity. Maybe it's because you know that you are too old to be dating these women in their 20s. And maybe at some point, these men will actually just grow up and mature past their 20s and not keep going for women in their 20s. And I hope that the women in their 20s keep turning them down because no. Now for some of the comments under the BurbNBougie subreddit. Late Nerd says, this guy confused testing with noticing he's a piece of and the OP says, of course, it's never a man's problem. He just looks younger. They really overestimate themselves. This person, Prior Artichoke, says, I love the I look younger conversations. Like, no, you don't. The body doesn't lie. A fit 40-year-old man still looks like a fit 40-year-old man. You look like a 40-year-old man, and by bringing it up, you're reminding them you're their dad's age. Kind of creepy. Creepy Night says it's usually guys like this that will get younger women pregnant because he thinks his sperm is fine because he looks younger. Gross. Young ladies, please be aware that older men with their sperm, it does decline in quality as they age. They always like to talk about women and our maternal health and our eggs drying up. Sperm declines in quality as well as they age. Don't have babies with these men that are, in their 40s or almost 40. Just don't. Empress Vibe says, yep, and that's why their health fails as well. They think looking good means they're healthy. Pretty dense. And Creepy Knight responds with, men are visual creatures after all. Most guys like him don't even bother having a physical checkup to see if their body is doing good. No, as long as their D's are working and their body looks good, looks like a college guy, they're good. The surprise Pikachu moment is when they have an underlying sickness that will force the younger women they're with to take care of them. Ladies in their 20s, do not become a nurse or a purse to these men. Please don't. Please understand that how their body looks doesn't always equate to what their health looks like. And do not be confused with these men that say that, that they just feel younger. Please don't. Please don't get involved with these people. They are always around 20 somethings for a reason. You really don't want a man that is emotionally stunted, that never matured past his 20s. A man that is almost 40 should behave like a man that is almost 40. You could still be 40 and have a lot of energy and take care of yourself and be in the gym and all that. I mean, I am 43, but I act like a 43-year-old. Most of my friend group are around the same age as me. What would I look like hanging out with a bunch of 20-year-olds? Like, we don't even have the same life experiences. It's so weird. Anyways, let me know what you think about this one. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. So this was posted in my BurbNBougie subreddit, and I believe that this is an important discussion to have because many of us are experiencing this. I go through this myself. She says, the most protected people on this app are abusive men. A man could berate you, insult you, DM you harassment, call you all types of names, and report your account, and you are expected to put up with it. Men will use Pickmes and Mammies to take down social media once you speak about certain men. That is why they left them on their platforms and convince women that being a Pickme is the best way to go. Like, say yes to all the secretly demeaning things that benefit males in the end. And if you talk out about it, Pickmes get skylarking mad and accuse you of being a misandrist. I am done with being on some subreddits because some women talk the talk but do not walk the walk. What Burb does is precious because it shows how collectively Regardless of race, men will cape for other abusive males because it benefits them at the end of the day. That's why they are mad about 4B, about child-free women due to saying no to being in their game. So keep speaking up, ladies. Keep exposing these dudes because majority of men are being sucked into the black hole of incelldom and thinking it's okay to be violent against women. Men will never hold men accountable because the more naive women are, it benefits them to exploit them. Keep sharing, keep writing, and never give up. That is the reason why I created this space, especially on Reddit. And that is the reason why I highly moderate my comment sections because when we are not engaging with them, they have to come over to our comments. So I suggest do not go into their comment section engaging with them. Do not give them energy. Yes, I might go into their spaces, but literally I'm screenshotting. I might have the inclination to talk. I might feel so compelled to like comment because something that they said was illogical or just silly or downright wrong, but I don't because I know that these MFers do not have the capacity to change their minds once they believe something. So it is a waste of time. I would do better with my time talking to an empty water bottle. Please do not waste your time and energy. If you are going to be in their spaces, do not engage with them. Do not engage with their flying monkey mammies. Do not, because it is a waste of your time and energy, and it just increases your stress level. And we don't want that. What you can do, screenshot and then bring it over to the BurbNBougie subreddit. Do not engage. Do not engage. Just try to, if you feel like typing, just come type over on the BurbNBougie subreddit. Come into my community. We are laughing. I make videos where we are taking their words and laughing. That is where you engage. Do not try to change their minds. Do not, just don't. Calm it down. Creepy Knight says, I highly agree. You can turn off the messages here through settings. I always do this on all of my social media accounts because men will always send unsolicited messages no matter what. I do have my settings set to where I have to accept their messages. And it does take a little time before I see like the women's messages as well. But we have to protect our peace some kind of way. So definitely set your settings to where you have to accept things. And the whole thing about the social media protecting them and they can send you all kind of messages no matter what, that happens. Most of the moderators on these apps are men. So that is the reason why they are able to get away with so much. So you have to filter them out some kind of way. The OP says, I will do that soon. I literally have to do a factory reset on my account after my accounts got taken down. I'm still baffled because I said a truth and it was labeled as harassment. I can no longer be on feminist spaces anymore due to noticing many women truly do not know the meaning of what they say. It is disturbing how many undercover pickmes we have on social media. And after a while, their nature and who they really are does come through. You can't hide being a pick me. You cannot hide being an incel for too long. I did let them know this is me. I'm BurbNBougie, and I do try to interact on my subreddit, but my platforms are just getting just too big these days. I said that I am going to put this in a video. This is a discussion that we need to have, and then I went into my suggestion of not talking to them. The OP says, thanks, Burb. I will only be using your page because my articles I posted on here was actually real stuff that needs to be spoken about. I'm so tired of the coddling, the entitlement, and the cognitive dissonance. It is exhausting. And Beer Bianca just says, I agree. Yes, just don't go into their spaces. Leave them alone. Let them be. Many of them, we have to let them continue to talk. They have to out themselves. So, like I said, I just wanted to have this discussion just to remind us all to let them continue to talk over there. If you want to engage with their words, don't do it in their space, do it in our spaces. All right, y'all jump in the comments. Let me know what you think about this one. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. So this post was posted in the incel tears subreddit. She says, I dated an incel. Let's read this. Let's read this together. She says, I didn't want to judge him too harshly for having zero relationships before me. He told me his traumatizing sob story that made him a hermit, so I was understanding. His first encounter with a girl insulted his peen. He carried over his incel beliefs into our relationship. There was subtle nagging in regards to appearance. I am an attractive female, and he has a childish mentality to automatically think, for example, I should feel threatened if another attractive female is around when I don't and I get along with everyone. He has a warped view of jealousy where he feels it's important and was offended that I don't get jealous. It would make him feel superior, I guess, if I did. I explained that you either trust your significant other or you don't. If you're purposely trying to make me jealous, the girl isn't bothering me. It's points off for him as a boyfriend, therefore, there's nothing to get jealous about. He thanked me for giving him a chance because he told me he thought he was doomed to trick a low self esteem, overweight girl to be with him. He said that out loud to her. I don't know why he couldn't just date one if he thought that was his league, but I replied how I guess I was saving them from him. But that didn't matter because he definitely had me tricked too. He has body dysmorphia, and I tried explaining to him to stop projecting his body image issues onto me because it makes zero sense for me to start having self image issues at this point of my life, and I was not going to start. I always justified the negging as his complete and utter inexperience with women. The only scary difference with me is lucky I didn't have low self esteem. If I had, maybe his want to make me mentally weak so I would stay under his Delulu control would have worked. He wanted some sort of nookie slave pet. Yes, they want bang maids that don't think. When I realized he was doing it on purpose, it was only 20 days after we started living alone together. She explains this a little bit more. They were living together with other people before. She explains that in the comments. This day, he rated my butt a 9 out of 10 as some sort of compliment after hunching. So if I'm in a swarm of perfect butts, I'd be a 9. When I told him I was no longer going to give him nookie with him, she says, I'm no longer going to have nookie with him. And he became angry and said, what's the point of us even being together then? I replied, what we have between each other emotionally is genuine. I'm not falling for an ultimatum where I have to make nookie with you to be in a relationship with you, where you think you can comment on and rate my body parts. He became very angry, antagonizing, and abusive, and I started already planning on immediately leaving the relationship. This all just piling on top of everything else. As things escalated, long story short, it ended in his first relationship being moved out on his own for the first time for only 20 days with a DV police report. And it escalated after I moved out that day, a month later, and now I am pressing charges for all of it. I believe that some of these people, the manosphere with these talking points, like the negging, these pickup artist tactics, it has literally scrambled their brains. They are not normal thinking people. The negging thing, this is the reason why we have to keep talking about this. The negging thing should be a red flag that women know and understand. We've got to talk about this several times so you know. If they are subtly trying to put you down and keep your self-esteem low, it is for a reason. Their self-esteem is low. They want you to be jealous. They want you to be insecure. They want to keep you off of your feet because in their scrambled brain, because keep in mind their brains are scrambled, in their scrambled brain, they think that they are not good enough because they know that they're not good enough to actually just be a supportive and decent person. They are not decent people. They are very indecent. Okay, some of the comments, because she is actively in these comments. This person says, geez, I'm glad you got out unscathed. And we don't even know if she's unscathed. She could be mentally harmed. It's not always just physical. Sometimes it is mental as well. Effective Salamander says, negging is one of the common pieces of red pill advice. It doesn't work, and it just draws incels more into the cult. Rather than think, this advice doesn't work, they believe it more strongly and instead think, I must be ugly. I wonder how much of their dysmorphia is induced by their exposure to these pills and terrible advice. They choose to immerse themselves in this, and that takes a toll. It scrambles their brain. They are not mentally well. This person says it's also such an idiotic concept. Like, what's the end game here? What are they trying to accomplish? What possible benefits can there be to fueling insecurity in the person you ostensibly love? I can maybe imagine it in a bar scenario or something where you're trying to appear playfully unavailable. Even then, it would be a little questionable at best. Just think about it. What would happen if a woman did that crap to you as a man? $10 says that you wouldn't see her as enticing. You'd rightfully see her as a B word. So, what makes you think it's any different with the roles reversed? And no, women don't think about it differently at all. They're people with broadly the same thoughts and emotions as you. We might have the same emotional capacity, but they do not use a wide range of emotions. They don't. I do not think that many of them um, have developed emotionally yet. They are emotionally stunted. In a surprise to no one at all, an incel stayed an incel even after getting what he wanted. I'm sorry you had to deal with that, and I'm very glad you are okay now. To the lurkers, this is why we say you need to clear your mind of this toxic BS. Your nihilism extends to others, and it clearly harms them. And book connoisseur says, but that's only because she stopped giving me the sex. So I couldn't imbibe her diluted norminess to help me ascend max from inceldom. It's all the femoid's fault. That imbecile, probably. Okay, so Tommy's comment brought out some of the questions that some people were having, maybe even you were having. He says, damn, it's sad. Guy doesn't know how to be in a relationship. Sadder still, he probably won't be able to find someone else and he'll think endlessly about this. Only a couple of things I don't understand is how you guys ended up living together. How long were you dating? As hard to believe this could have been stable too long. Also, I don't get the bad reaction about complimenting your butt after nookie. Okay, it's a bit 17-year-old comment, but a compliment anyway. I've complimented telling a girl she has an amazing looking butt or whatever after nookie, and she took it as a compliment. Stop rating women. Stop rating our body parts. Women do not like this. Tommy Barcelona. Women do not like being rated. Stop doing that. Yes, like he said, it's a bit 17-year-old. It is. Leave women alone. Stop rating us. We're not a car. We're not a meal. We're not something to be consumed. Stop rating us. And the OP says, giving someone a compliment on their butt isn't a backhanded compliment. What he said to me was a neg. It was a brief relationship, about 6 months. Before we lived alone, just us, we lived together, but with his family. So it seemed compatible that when his parents bought him the house for us to live in as a gift for finally finding someone to be happy with, I assumed we would have been able to stay, being able to live together. Otherwise, I wouldn't have subjected myself to that living arrangement. The fact that it only took 20 days for him to reveal that he would handle things in an abusive manner implies that it was not stable for long at all. His first relationship was indeed brief. It was supposed to be long term, but it didn't work out. Okay, so that's what happened. She was living with their parents for whatever reason, and now she is no longer living with him. I'm glad that it only took 20 days for her to get out of that. All right, that's the end of this one. Jump in the comments. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.